Hello Foodlumers, I'm Joe and I'm the founder of Foodlum. Since Foodlum has been operating for more than 2 years now, I thought it was about time to put a face to the business. And as the gatekeeper of the food you consume, I think it's important for you to know a little bit about me. Some background. I'm originally from the inner west and I've worked in the IT software industry for most of my working life. I moved to Vancouver, Canada in the 90s and my son was born there. While in Vancouver, I spent most of my time working for a software company where I had responsibilities for North America and the Asia Pacific. I returned to Australia in 2001, mainly to spend some time with Dad who was not well, and to allow Peter, my son, to get to know his grandfather, while I continued to work in the software industry. So why Foodlum? Well, after working in the IT business for many years, I realised that as much as I liked working with computers, I preferred people much more. And it was time for a change, really. So the question was, what was I going to do? My natural instinct gravitated towards food, because food for me is about connection. It's about identity. It's about creation. It's about memory. And it's about joy and love. These are the things that matter to me. And there's a story from my childhood that best explains this. My parents come from a small but gorgeous seaside resort town of Gaeta, in the province of Lazio, Italy. You'll find it midway between Rome and Naples. It's similar to many of the towns you find on the Amalfi Coast, only prettier in my opinion. As a child, my family made several trips back to Gaeta, and although good food was part of my upbringing, my relationship with food changed forever on one of these trips, and it was all about the humble bruschetta and my obsession with it. So, on this one particular trip, my uncle, who was a builder, would return home in the morning to have breakfast with us. It was the same breakfast and the same routine every morning. He'd pick up a freshly warm baked loaf of bread from the local bakery and make his way home. He would then assemble his bruschetta, a thick slice of bread, topped with local tomatoes, olive oil and basil. Simple you may think, but I found it so difficult to replicate that taste sensation back here in Oz, and I can confirm this was not a figment of my childhood imagination, because every time I go back to Gaeta, you guessed it, I get that divine bruschetta made for me. I eventually realised that great quality tasting produce is rarely found in large supermarket chains. So it made me think about the food I eat and where it comes from. But there's more to food than just the love of food. 2 years ago, while visiting Gaeta, I wasn't feeling quite right. And on my return home, I was eventually diagnosed with heart disease. Thankfully, I was lucky to have dodged a serious heart attack. But I now have some internal jewellery in the form of 3 stents. So now that every mouthful of food I eat wants to kill me, not only is taste important, but also its nutritional value. My love of food, my life experience, and my passion for living a sustainable life on this planet is why I started Foodlum. If you have any questions you would like answered, reach out and I'll be happy to respond. But for now, thanks for watching and ciao.